Fsbo, FSBO. If you're not in the real estate world, you might not know what Fsbo stands for, but that's okay. Fsbo is an acronym meaning for sale by owner, and it obviously means when an owner sells their home without an agent representing them. There are pros and cons to this, so let's take a look, and I will try to explain some of them in a completely unbiased way. I'll try, right? Just the facts. Let's start with the pros. The first and most obvious pro is the cost savings. When selling a home with an agent, you can typically expect to pay 5, 6, 7% in commissions depending on where you're located. And this varies depending on the location of the home, type of property, and what you end up negotiating with your agent. But when you sell Fsbo, you'll only be responsible for the buyer's agent commission side of it. So roughly 50% of what I just talked about. That's assuming you're selling to someone who is being represented by a licensed agent. This is typically the case. Most serious buyers work with an agent, so be prepared to pay for that part of the representation. But even so, this can significantly reduce what you will owe in commissions come closing time. Another pro is that you will have complete control over the sale. Essentially, the buck starts and stops with you. You'll have total control over the listing price, what improvements you make, what you negotiate, and even who you show it to. But is that really what you want? Now, to be honest, for pros, that's a pretty short list, right? Most sellers just want to save money. So it's not so much that they don't want to pay an agent, it's that they want to net as much as possible, right? And what I just talked about is usually where their list ends. The fact that they control every aspect of the process can be seen as a bonus in the beginning, but not so much as the process unfolds. So let's take a look at some of those cons. The first and most obvious con is a lack of pricing strategy because public access to market data, meaning sold prices, is limited. And actually, in Montana, it's simply not available to the public. Sorry, Zillow. Homeowners have no clear way of knowing which homes are or aren't selling. Also, what concessions or credits were part of maybe your neighbor's sale. Because those sold prices are not publicly disclosed, Zillow is incorrect and there's no precise way to compare one home value to another without the help of an agent. If you underprice your home, you could be losing more than the commissions you'd actually pay getting full service from an agent. If you overprice it, which is more often the case, it just won't sell. I actually know of firsthand of a case here where I work in Bozeman of someone who set a price of their home and sold it Fsbo and got exactly what they wanted. However, I knew based on the data I had available that it would have actually sold for higher with an agent and that they would have netted even more with paying the agent commissions. So they actually left money on the table and never even knew it. Another con is a lack of real estate knowledge. I even bought a home before I became a licensed agent, and now I realize how much I didn't know. There can be upwards of 200 plus steps in the real estate transaction process. And all along the way, there are legal requirements, acronyms, different individuals you're dealing with, title companies, lenders, inspectors, all kinds of jargon that can be confusing or overwhelming, especially for an inexperienced seller. Escrow, title, you'll need to know it all so you stay out of trouble. And if you miss out on an important step or don't use the right contract or forget to sign a legal disclosure or document, it could cost you time and maybe some money. Finally, the last con on my list is that complete control you have. I listed it as a pro, but sometimes people realize it actually is a con after you start. You are responsible for every single step of the process, and it takes a serious amount of time. Most people come to realize that the list of to-dos is crazy long, and it can almost feel like a full-time job once you get into it, because it is. Real estate transactions deal with huge sums of money and can often end up being messy and complicated. I've been doing real estate going on 9 years full time, and I can promise you that selling your house is indeed a full time job. But I love it. If you're up to the task, more power to you. If you'd like some help, call or message me here and let's chat about your home value.